One shot, let's begin. Yuji no Sugi, or Funeral for a Friend by Asada Nemui, translated upload by Bottom of the Sea Scans. Alright, let's begin. It says it's going to be drama, so we'll go from there. We've known each other since before I can remember. You know, my daddy's always gone on trips abroad, and he always buys me plenty of toys. Oh, really? My mama's a model, and she always tells me I'll become a model too one day. Do you want us to come over to my house? I bet I have more clothes than you. And we've been squabbling ever since. Maybe you should come over to us. I'll show you my mommy's jewels. Funeral for a Friend by Asada Nimui. I have a recital coming up soon. Our rivalry? Oh, this dress was advertised in a magazine recently, and but you shouldn't come in a dress. Won't the teacher get mad at you? Began in primary school. Oh, but you shouldn't be wearing accessories either, May. Your lunch is all brown, May. It looks like old people food. Yeah, but yours is from the freezer section, say. Continued in middle school and went on through high school. Yesterday, I went to see the fireworks with my boyfriend. Must be nice to have someone your age. My boyfriend's already a working adult, so we don't do those events, but he buys me lots of brand items. It never it never slowed down until our adult years either. We'll be having the ceremony in Guam, and he promised me we'd honeymoon across Europe afterwards. Ah, my boyfriend has his company, and he's very busy, you see. So our honeymoon will be local, but the ceremony itself is going to be very extravagant. Soon my husband's company will be expanding internationally. Oh, and I'm starting a cooking school in Ayama. My child is doing so well. They just landed an endorsement from a private school. I'd love for them to further their studies, even if it is so much work. Wow. Let's see. We keep comparing ourselves and squabbling about it. Oops. Wow, you're doing so well. Must be tough raising the kid all by yourself, though. Oh, it's fine. I get more than enough to cover the life and schooling expenses. And what about you, Ma? Still no kids in sight? It's so nice having them, you know. Ah, right. Her. Somehow, Ka was always just there. She trailed behind us ever since we were little. She was lame and boring. You two are so amazing. And on top of that, she'd often meddle. I don't think you should have cheated on him. And you say he was just a kid. Maybe you could let it slide this once. She led a tedious life, but seemed content enough. Well, she was a good person. Now she's dead. So, she just went and died, huh? And only 76? Poor thing. She was always a plain one. Ha 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 ha. Right down to her own funeral, it seems. Her husband just as plain, too. I hear he never achieved anything higher than section chief at his small company. Shame. All her kids look like him, too. Ah, but the daughter resembles her a lot. The grandkids don't make much of an impression. I guess they'd be the great grandson. She was always so happy when talking about him. There's a lot of people here. Well, she kept her teaching position well into late retirement after all. These are all her former pupils. She's such a conscientious person. Mm. It's so sad. Everyone was passing before us. Indeed. They say it was pneumonia. Terrifying. She seemed so healthy until just recently. Well, I suppose it's better than dying senile. I guess. Well, I'm heading this way, so. Not taking a taxi this time? You've always gone by car. Ah, I thought it'd be healthier to walk to the station. Maybe you should start doing more exercise as well. You were swaying so much during the incense offering. You look like an old lady about to keel over yourself. Ah, did I? I'm so sorry. But you see, unlike yourself, I can afford taxis. Oh, which reminds me, your dress is fraying. It must be tough for you, having your husband leave you for a younger woman at your age. And no children either, right? That always worried me so. Oh, I'm sorry. I've said too much. Ha, it's quite all right. It's all true after all. But since we're already on this subject, I must confess I've been worried about you too. You see, I know it's been quite some time since that kid of yours has spoken to you. I guess that fifth marriage didn't pan out after all. Huh. It must be so hard on you. At least I have a hefty sum of retirement funds, courtesy of my divorced husband. But what about you, say? You seem intent on keeping appearances up, but aren't you a bit embossed in that worn-out kimono? Well, we should both do our best, but if you ever feel troubled, do let me. You're right. It's true. I I have nothing left, but I won't need much anymore. Huh? What are you saying? Don't tell me. You're sick? No, it's not like that. I've been invited into a secret club. A club that assists you towards a peaceful death. What? What does that mean? It's euthanasia. Induced with a drug, you know? You go to sleep and never wake up. I know what it is, but ain't euthanasia illegal? There's no way they'd be offering that. Well, you don't have to believe me. I was also quite skeptical at first. A man I met recently told me about it while drunk. When I confided in him about my living situation and fears about aging, he offered me an invitation. I was present for his last moments, and it was wonderful. All the members spent the last week of their lives having the best time. That man spent that week surrounded by absolute beauties, eating the world's best delicacies. He passed away peacefully, at the peak of his happiness, watched over by everyone. Ah, were it me, I'd go out in the company of handsome, buff young men, eating delicious food and desserts from dawn till dusk. Oh, and like to go shopping, too, buying all the pretty clothes and bags I'd want. Really? There's no way that could be real. You've been scammed into some nonsense. So, you don't believe me? That's fine. I should be dead in about 2 weeks. Some from the club will reach out to you. So please, come to the funeral. I'm afraid from there you'll have quite a long time to live all on your own. Good luck. I don't want to get senile and unable to take care of myself. Suffering and dying alone is shameful. I refuse to go through that, so I'll be checking out on my terms. Well, wait! That invitation that you mentioned, does that mean you can invite someone too? Yes, exactly. I see. But every member could only invite one person to the club. So I was thinking of giving it to Maki. Maki? Yes, we were in the same group in high school. Oh, right. You and Maki never got along, did you? That's a pity. Maybe you could make up rekindle the friendship even now. It's not like but Maki has so many friends. I guess it'll be hard for her to pick who to invite next. But, you know, I'm also not sure yet. Should I give it to Maki or someone else? I mean, she has kids, and her husband is still in good health. She says she wouldn't want to be nursed by someone else no matter what. But isn't it a luxury to fuss about that? Yes, that's what it is. Isn't it when I was telling her about the club, she got interested in the idea. And she told me, if it was me, I'd make that final time more meaningful. You don't say? She hasn't changed a bit, even when she was announcing her engagement. This brings me back. There was an incident with her ex, right? It was so funny. That wedding was a scene of carnage. Oh dear. Talking to you has always been the most fun. I had a good laugh. When push comes to shove, I still consider you my best friend. The, then, but I already told Maki that I'd invite her. Huh? I still haven't informed anyone at the club, though. Ah, I see. I mean, you know how stubborn she is. I told her she didn't have to, but she's already taken me on a 3-day trip to Hong Kong. But isn't the kind of stingy? It was just 3 days. Well, it was fun and all, so it's fine, I guess. Though, to be honest, I would have preferred some place in Europe or America. Hey, you know what, say? Wow, how splendid. It's been so long. But are you sure it's all right? You covered the flights and even the stay at the hotel? It's fine. I've also been meaning to come. I still feel bad about it, right? Here, I made this. Los Angeles, Las Vegas, and the Grand Canyon too. Doesn't that sound like a load of fun? I see. I guess that's out then. Okay, fine. Yay! Let's start with some shopping. Huh? Don't worry. I'll pay for it myself. Let's have some fun. Yes, let's. Oh, you. Oh, how splendid. Oh! Stop making me laugh. Oh, but that guy was sweet on me for sure. When I asked him how old I looked, he guessed 60. But he must have been about 30 something. He's in the grannies, I guess. Oh dear, now I'm tired. Come on, we're nearly back at the hotel. You really have no stamina. Have mercy on me. But it really went by fast, didn't it? It's already been a week. Indeed. Hey, do you really plan to die when we get back? Yes, I do. I see. It's gonna be lonely without you after all. This has been the best time I've had with you so far. May. You know, we've been through a lot together. Each time we met, we compete and fight with each other. To be honest, I never liked you much, but it's also been fun to squabble with you. Whatever I choose to do, I kept wondering if it made me better than you. On reflection, my life didn't amount to more than a series of comparisons to you. But soon enough, even that's going to come to an end. Although, well, I'm planning to follow soon after anyway. May, it's so silly. I wonder if even I wonder if even our afterlives will turn into another popularity contest. May, hey, um, I, well, I lied about that euthanasia drug. Huh? What are you saying? It's just, well, I did try to deceive you, but halfway through, I really started to feel bad about it. It's just that I couldn't find the right time to tell you the truth. What? But then what happens to us now? You do realize that I cashed in all the money I had in savings, my entire retirement funds? It's just I never thought you'd lap it all up so easily. Huh? You must be fucking kidding me. What the hell? What were you thinking, you? I'm sorry. It's all my fault. It's 'cause I was mad. You were making a fool of me. And I have no money and no future. Wouldn't it be unfair that only you get to live out your years in a cushy retirement home? You shitty hag! You idiot! Dumbass! Die! It hurts, you lying old bitch! I'm sorry. Really, forgive me. I swear, nothing changed about your rotten personality, has there? You evil witch. I've always hated your guts. I'm telling you, I'm sorry. What? So now, you're gonna snap back at me? Stop making a racket, you damn hysteric. It's your fault for getting fooled by that anyway. You've always been tense, but you just kept making yourself out to be so fucking competent. But just look at you. Bitchin', raving, how you instantly raise your hand at me, you brute. I hate you too. I've always hated you so much. I'll kill you, you damn decrepit hag. Yeah, do it. And you're the decrepit hag. There's nothing ahead of us anyway. Nothing. We'll grow weak and senile, and then we'll become bedridden and eventually die alone without anyone caring. If that's what's coming, then I'd rather you kill me right here and now. And since you're out of funds anyways, just kill me and turn prison into your old age home. You pathetic, goddamn asshole. Eek. That was a close shot. What are you doing? You could have killed us.
Shut up, old bat.
Ouch, it hurts. How awful. I think I slipped a disc. Ouch. What on earth was the problem? The kids these days. I'm so mad. How absurd. May, I refuse to die alone in jail after killing you. I return tickets. You got them, right? Hand them over. No, I don't want to go back. Pfft, what? I don't want to grow weaker and weaker and die suffering. I want to die here right now. Kill me, idiot. You spineless coward. Kill yourself. Just leave me out of it. Oh. Sniff, sniff. Wait for me. My back hurts. Oh, shut up with your sniveling. Are we really heading back? I don't want to. I want to have more fun here. We still haven't seen the Grand Canyon. We're out of money, remember? I want to go back. When we're back, we're gonna. I know. I want to be loved by everyone too. Have them all cry for me when I die. I'm so lonely. Just stop. I know. Oh, isn't that like I thought? It's the car that almost ran us over with. Oh, is it? And the driver there, he's on the payphone. Such a flashy guy with that woman on his arm. In that case, time to get back at those snots. Make sure they pay for this. Hey, say, do you have a coin? Let's scratch it up. Okay. Oh, they left the key in the ignition. Careless. Hey, we still haven't been to the Grand Canyon. True, we haven't. That movie we watched with Cajo a long time ago. Thelma and Louise? Do you remember? Ah, what was it? Two murderous friends. And in the end they... Exactly. Oh my, it's been ages since my heart raced this fast. Mine too. It's been a while. I'm not sure if I remember how to drive. Careful, it's the left-hand drive there. Oh, it's been fine. Newer cars are full of modern tech. It says 230 miles to the Grand Canyon. That's quite far. Okay, here we go. Ah, yes. Guess I'm stuck with you to the bitter end after all. Oh, wait, guess I'm stuck with you to the bitter end after all. Hey, I would have wrote Takeshi in the driver's seat, you know. Takeshi? From middle school? Yes, my first love. Hey, I would have picked him too. No, you can't have him. Hey, he's not yours anyway. The end. Oh, that was lovely. That was a very, very lovely story. Um, I think that this is something that I will appreciate even more the older I get. Um, because if I'm going to be very, very frank, with how when people say like if you die at your funeral, which what is it? What is the question? Would you rather nobody shows up to your wedding or your funeral? And and I've been okay with like nobody showing up to my funeral. I'll be dead, so I don't know if there's much else I could really worry about with that. But it's also just like it's kind of like wonderful to see all these people care for Kaho so much. It's like, oh, okay, lovely here. She's a teacher, and then he had all her former students here. And it's also interesting that like he's playing, her family is playing, the kids are playing, right? And it's like, I mean, but again, she always loved him like crazy, and I think that's a wonderful thing to think about, right? Um, it's like, oh, okay, so there's that aspect of living a fulfilled life, and it's interesting, right? Like, you had these two people who are vying and competing with each other, and like you could see that they both got to each other in different ways. They both lived very, very different lives, and I do like learning about the lives they lived throughout the time they go, right? She's like a girl's girl. One of the kids got married several times here, had no trouble attracting men. This one here got married once and divorced, but she married a person who was very, very well off. And one of the things I appreciate about this in particular is that the reveal of Kaho was that she was always there. Like this is probably Kaho, and I think it's right, right? Like she's right here in the background here. She's right there in the background. She's right there in the background. She's right there. And then even right here, she's right there, right? And I do like that. The fact that it's like, even in the beginning, she was kind of off to the side while people did whatever. She led a tedious life but seemed content in love, right? And she was a good person. I like that idea, right? I don't think I'm going to go and do anything super amazing in my life. I'm not going to go and move continents, this, that, or the other. And my job will be tedious enough in its own respects, but I am able to successfully enjoy my life, right? I'm content is a good part of it. Um,
Only 76. Poor thing. Yep, at least another 20 years left in her. And that's what I think. Oh, I mean, I might die someday. I mean, we all have to die. And it's like, huh. Just the funeral aspect, I think, is important. And then it's like the end of life aspect. What do you want for your end of life? Because I could see why this is very appealing to her, where she's like, hey, I want to, like, she's been invited to get like euthanasia here. They're gonna make this person the best day of their life here, or the best week of their life before they take the drug. And I do like, I could see that. Like, I could actually see that being like a real organization where it's like, hey, let's live your best life before you're offered to take the drug. And I think that that's an interesting concept too, just because I think we've read prior stories where they've asked that. And like after they live their good life, they all of a sudden don't want to die. And I think in this case, it could almost be deterrent. Like you could live such a good life right there, and then you take the drug. Like, maybe I don't want to go and commit suicide, right, or euthanasia. Although they're, end of life, right? There's a thing like, should we allow a person to kill themselves at the end of their life, right? And ideally, nobody kills themselves without a good reason, right? Um, and so Maki has so many friends. Yeah, the one with Maki, where she's just scamming her friends too, this, that, or the other. And I kind of appreciate the bickering of their friendship. It's like, okay, they went, they're enjoying their lives, they're having fun. Um, this and the other, they're in New York first. This has got to be New York, right? Or at least it's implied in New York. I guess they're going to go to Los Angeles too. Because here is the thing that, like, I think people underestimate is that America's a very big country. So that flight to go from New York to LA, let me see, where's that little map that they have there? So actually, now that I look at it, it's very similar to one for like Chicago to LA or whatever here, because the map is drawn properly, right? If this was New York, it'd probably take like a good 8 to 10 hours on a plane going from here all the way to Los Angeles here. Now maybe the plan's to go to California, in which case that's probably about like a no, probably like a 6 hour flight, or though 6 7 hour flight, and then they need to drive from California to the Grand Canyon, and Grand Canyon to Vegas. That's gonna take quite a long time, like probably a good at least 10 12 hours, 14 hours in a car just driving alone if you go from here to here to here. Now you could fly in to the Grand Canyon, but they probably flew into Vegas then to the Grand Canyon, which is significantly more manageable comparatively. And I say that because 200 miles is still probably a long time, and at the Grand Canyon and whatnot. But yeah, so I'm like, they're able to do that in a week? That sounds exhausting to be able to do that. I'm like, they're going to miss their flights. But again, they're old. They want to have fun what they can. I feel bad for her in the because she did lose all her life savings. She made a week of memories, but when they get back, it's whatever. Although it's also interesting because they are kind of implying that they're going to kill themselves in the end too, where they're going to go and drive off, and then boom, they'll like die together, whatever it be, at the Grand Canyon. And if they do or don't, right, I guess we'll see. That's why it's a one shot. And they're just reminiscing about their life all the way back to middle school to now. And it's like, think about the lives we've lived, right? And it's so wonderful. And of course, when they beat each other, like I thought they were going to make some comment. If you really wanted to die, you would have gotten hit by that car or something. And I like the fact that she would just want to get back at her. There wasn't anything extra. It seemed like something that they would do to each other, right? Like two people who are just feuding their entire life. At the end of their life, why not feud harsher? Like, why is she not get the nice things that other people's get? But they do dress classically. We have the big old American muscle car. I'd guess that this is Vegas because of that building there, right? Um, yeah, I think it's one, and I'm speaking a little stiltedly, that I'll appreciate more as I get older. Because even I was like, oh man, for all those people at this person's funeral, got me to think, well, my funeral will X, Y, or Z show up? Maybe, maybe not, right? And then kind of the legacy you're going to leave behind with other people. So it did give me like that. I can imagine add an extra 30, 40 years on me. This one will probably hit all too harder in life. I do like these characters, though. I do like their designs. I like the fact that I could tell them apart significantly. um, I also like these faces. Like, oh yeah, so they do are able to have depth, and I like the fact that you could tell that they age, right? So we start when they're like young, then you see like slight subtle differences in how they present themselves, how they change. Well, of course, that's obviously older here. But okay, they dress a little bit older here. Now we see the uniforms change a bit. We see that the hairstyle is, a little bit longer from here to there here. And then it goes further here. Again, a new hairstyle, slight differences. Now they're significantly older, more mature. Now we see some age. And then we see where they're at now. And I think that's very good of the artist to do. This is like a scratchy style a little bit for certain things, but in a way that I think is done very, very well. Um, and that it just depicts humanity well, because a lot of these scratchy styles can like lead themselves to horror, but I think this leads to the depth of humanity a little bit more, right? Adding a few lines here or there, incomplete lines or like accent lines, really do add to it, right? Her jawline's will define a little bit of dirt here. The almost unfinished nature, if you really want us to go far, I could say adds on to the um, end of life stuff, and I'm like, oh god, this person has a lot of erotica and sexual violence under their thing. We won't be reading those on stream, to say the very, very least. And I'm not even gonna click through them. So, yeah, I'm not gonna risk exploring anything this author does. Otherwise, I'm gonna do some editing at the video. But with all that being said, like, comment, subscribe, and thank you for being born, y'all. Peace out.